art friends, this is Mrs. McComber. This is my favorite 3D drawing project. It does take a while, so hang tight with me and practice. Go ahead and pause the video whenever you feel the need. Thank you so much for giving it a try. Alright art kids, I'm back. You're back. Thanks for joining me. Today we're starting a new project that will ultimately lead to you being able to draw an ocean scene. And this is done in 3D, three-dimensional style. The way we achieve the 3D style is you have a light source and you have shading opposite the light source, which I'll show you directly. To be able to draw three-dimensional, you cannot do it without a light source and shading. And you also can't do it unless you have value. Just as money has value, your color can have value. Some people call it a grayscale, color gradation. I just call it value. Here's a scale that goes from 100% value of black down to white, which is 0%. We can also think about it as money. So here you agree that a dollar is 100%. Okay, a dollar is 100% of a dollar, and therefore here's 100% of the color. And it gets less as you go, just as in money. Okay, a dime is 10% of a dollar, here's 10% color. So you can see where there's the darkest places that go to less to white. And there's a special tool that we're going to use called a blending stump. I've already attached in my lessons alternatives to blending stumps. It was a video I got off of YouTube. It's already listed there. If you don't have one of these and you don't want to buy one, there are other things you can use in your house. And that video will show you what to do. So refer to that if you don't have one of these. It's called a blending stump. It's rolled up paper. I like the ones that are not hollow. They last longer. And of course you can find these at craft stores. But if you do not want to bother with buying some, you may go ahead and use whatever you can find in your house. So as you can see, I'm showing you the light source, the shading, and the value. So those are the things you want to know. Now, did I have all these ideas on my own? No. Who taught me how to do this? Well, Mr. Mark Kistler. He's also one of my favorite guys that I wore on the video that I had set up for you as my introduction video. And he also has this book, You Can Draw in 30 Days. This is a fabulous book also. And he goes through many, many different examples and items so that you can get light source shading and use it so you can draw three-dimensionally. My favorite tools to draw with are just these things. And then of course you might need an eraser. I just happen to have one on this pencil. I prefer to use these large kindergarten pencils because they have a lot of graphite in them. I find it easier to use a blending stump with these. Second place is just a number 2 pencil. Third place, if this is all you have, then that's fine, but these mechanical pencils are wonderful for small details as far as when you're writing, or super small when you're drawing. But the problem with these are it's so razor sharp that you scratch your paper. You can't make changes once you make a mistake because it's always scratched on the paper. So if you can find a big fat pencil somewhere, that's my favorite. Second place is this one. So the blending stump. Now we have the value, and what I'll do is go through and show you what I mean quickly. Okay, let me turn this over. So to do 100%, you're going to go as dark as you can. And then the next time, maybe it's 75%. And that one's going to be almost as dark. And then 50%. And you can practice this with me. It's kind of boring at first, but it's necessary to get the effect that we want of the three-dimensionality. And then much less, 10%, and then 5%, hardly there, and 1%, almost impossible for me to do. Now, blending stumps are really cool. You can pull from the dark to the light, and you keep going till you run out. Now, the thing about blending stumps, you can't draw with it very much because nothing's really in there. Yes, it looks like it's like a pencil lead. It has nothing inside it. The idea is to go from dark to light to medium to white when you're using these. You can make it curve. So if you're drawing something curvy, you can bend it. You can see how it's kind of looking like a swoosh. So let me talk real quickly about light source and shading. I'm going to draw these same things, just simple. The coral tubes are how we're going to start our ocean project. And there's going to be lots of circles, lots of ovals. Now refer also to my slideshow on foreshortening and foreshortened circles. Here's going to be my light source. I have that video already connected in my Google Classroom also. It's actually not a video, it is a slideshow presentation. Talks about foreshortening and where it came from in the Renaissance and the idea. So I'm going to make an oval, which is a foreshortened circle. If you have trouble making an oval, you can try and draw two dots and connect them with curvy lines. Now, we want to make these coral tubes look like you could swim down or up, or a bubble could come out of it. And the way we do that is that oval, which is a smashed circle. If you go from the edge of those two lines on the very outer edge, your tube will look realistic. If you do an oval and you start your tube like this, it doesn't look so realistic. We want to make sure that a fish could go down it or come up. I could turn that into a bubble later. I think I'll do that. So my light source is right here. We're going to pretend that's the sun. I'm going to go super dark all along the left, the 100%. Now see how darkly this goes with this big fat pencil. That's why I like it the best, because you can lay down lots of graphite. Now I'm going to take my blending stump. So the blending stump, you use the sides of it, not so much the tip. You don't want to scratch it, you pull. Pull from left to right. And you can see that I'm kind of curving this. I want this to look 3D and bent, round, like a straw. So I'm going to make it curve by pulling from left to right. I'm not so much going like this, I'm just pulling. Remember, if it's not spreading, maybe you don't have enough graphite here. So you could go through and darken it again with your pencil if you needed to. If you ran out of the graphite to pull. Now remember, this is just a practice page to get you warmed up to start the real thing. Now the tube, it's wide open right now, it's all white. I want to change it. So this sun is hitting right here on this wall. So the inside of this is going to be super dark because think of a concrete wall. The sun can't get on the other side, so this side's going to be shaded. So I'm just doing a crescent moon kind of shape, and I'm pulling with my blending stump. Now if I get it too dark and I don't have super dark to white, I can go back in and make some white shine by erasing out. If your eraser's dirty, you can wipe it on your jeans, come back. Should work a little bit better. Mine is kind of dirty. After you finish, you can go through, you see how this gets kind of smudgy? Go through and make a line again, a dark line, because remember we need that super 100%. You can put that back in there. And then if I want to turn this into a 3D bubble, same thing. Light's going to hit right here. Okay, so this side, I'm going to make dark because the farthest away from the light gets the darkest shadow. All of a sudden that looked like just a circle floating. Now it looks like a three-dimensional bubble. Take my blending stump, pull it, and it looks like it's floating. I'll do a rounder one. Same thing. Farthest away from the sun gets the dark. Pull it with a blending stump. Circles. Okay, let's do a circle or sphere, or even that's more like an oval, sort of look like a potato. Let's try that shape just for fun. So I'm going to try it with this regular number 2 pencil. Here's my sun, it's shining here, so this is going to be the brightest part. The darkest is going to be beneath it. Already it's starting to look 3D. Take my blending stump, pull it away and up towards the white. Remember to leave it as stark white as you can right there. You can go back and fix your edge right here. Now it looks like it could be a hole in the ground, or it looks like it could be a potato sitting on a table. Let's make it sit on the table, make the table so it's not floating any longer. Now here's the sun, here's the object or the stone or the potato. Underneath is going to be super dark shadow. Now where two things meet and touch, like this potato sitting on this table, that's where it's going to be the darkest. So I'm making it super dark, and I'm going to do a little bit of light. Pick up my blending stump, pull it down on the table, and you can see how it's very dark casting the shadow here, and it gets medium light to white on the table. You should have some white area, and you should have some super dark area and all the gradation in between to give you value. So money has value, okay, and color has value. You also could do that with different colors, like these value coils. So you could do the same idea with similar colors. So you can see how it goes super dark green to medium green to lighter to white. And the white gives the reflection like the light is shining right here, and these edges are going away. So you can use color gradation with colored pencils too if you want to. For the purpose of this, we're just going to use the graphite color, the gray or the black. Okay? All right, so now we have finished the first step of this. Give it a try. Okay, remember money and percent and color all has value. And you also need to know that you're going from dark to medium to light to white. The white is coming from the light source hitting the object, and the farthest away from the light gets the darkest shadow. This is all super important to be able to draw our three-dimensional ocean project. This is the actual students' work, and you can see how they use light source shading. Their light source is actually over here, this fish. I will go through and help you create such a project. Here's another one. These are actual student projects. Pretty impressive. And you can see all the foreshortened circles that are in here. Foreshortened circle, foreshortened circle. Same thing with the bottom of the jellyfish. And again, all these ideas came from my favorite kid artist, even adult artist. He's a great draw coach. Thank you, and I will come back to you with the next steps.